Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Designers at Home. I'm Mark Weaver. Today, joining us from Santa Barbara is Randy Solakian. He's going to be coming on in just a moment. And Randy is one of Santa Barbara's most illustrious real estate leaders, and he has a sales history that spans over 3 decades, and it includes the area's most legendary estates. He's a world traveler, surfer, and a real estate veteran. He's also a father of 2, and I think he'll tell us a little bit about his 2 children. His daughter works with him in the real estate business, and his son has a remarkable career in architecture. Randy is also a member of the International Luxury Alliance, which is an elite network of professionals focused on the highest level of client service and business integrity. He'll be, let's see, I think he's still trying to get on. I hope everyone is having a good year end and a nice holiday. Things seem to be a little more relaxed now, and as we approach the end of the year, I'm looking forward to a little bit of time off. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. We have a nice group of people, and we have throughout the year. So let's see, Randy, are you there? Not quite yet. So Randy is here he is. Here he is. Okay, hang on. All right, I think here he is. Okay. The internet, it takes a few minutes to get all this coordinated, so thank you for your patience. Hello, Randy, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you, but I can't see your handsome face.
Let me try something here.
Okay. There it is. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Mark?
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. So I
Oh,
was
thank you
just
for
giving
having
them
me.
a little bit about your background. And so, Randy, you're a California native, isn't that correct?
Born and most of my life here in California, correct?
Yeah. So how did you end up in Santa Barbara?
Well, I actually transferred to UCSB as a junior in college and spent my second 2 years of college at the University of California here in Santa Barbara. And once you're here, you live here for a couple of years, it gets under your skin. And after graduating, I explored other opportunities and other places to live, and I just couldn't tear myself away from this community. And I determined at that time I was going to do whatever it takes to stay in Santa Barbara and live in this community.
And what were you studying at the university?
Actually, environmental studies. It was back then, way back then. It was it was a new major offered. Actually, one of the first in the country to offer environmental studies as an actual graduate major, and I was very interested in all things environmental, and including the natural beauty of this community and in the state of California where I grew up. So, and the ocean and everything about that. So it was a good fit for me all the way around.
Well, it is very seductive, and being a resident, I understand completely. So why do you think the Santa Barbara market is unique, or what makes the Santa Barbara market unique? I mean, things like, anybody that's visited Santa Barbara, the natural beauty of it is, very self-evident. But what does Santa Barbara have to offer for you and for your clients, do you think?
Well, that's a long conversation, Mark. There's so much about Santa Barbara that's truly unique, I think, in the world. Climate, for one, it's very people friendly. We're one of the five Mediterraneans which technically term Mediterranean climates in the world, like the Mediterranean itself, South Africa, Southwest Australia. There's a couple of others, but anyway, it's you know, temperatures ranging in the 60s and 70s year round makes it a very comfortable place to be. And then the unique combination of natural beauty here on the coast and culture, the depth of culture, like a big city, right. But we have this great small town feel, combined with a south-facing shoreline with the mountains behind us protecting from the north. So we have this wonderful southern exposure, different from the rest of the West Coast, which basically faces west. The coastline turns here in Santa Barbara and gives us this south-facing exposure. So the culture, the weather, the natural beauty, the sophisticated demographics here in terms of people that can choose anywhere in the world to live tend to choose this community. So we have a very interesting cultural, business, intellectual, the universities here. I could go on, but
right. It is wonderful. You know, it's one of the things that's one of the things I love about Santa Barbara. There's so much to do. I don't think a lot of people are aware that Santa Barbara has a bowl, much like the Hollywood Bowl, but the venue is smaller and more intimate. And it's one of my favorite places to go. I've seen Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, the London Symphony Orchestra. I mean, it's just every year there's something exciting there. The city with the art museum is the same way. There's always something entertaining. So you can go for walks on the beach, you can go to theater. It's a community that has so much to offer.
Well, being on the coast here, really at the base of the San Ynez mountain range, it's really everything but snow skiing. I mean, there's really, in terms of outdoors and recreation, as you said, beaches. We also have this, the university has an arts and lectures program that brings every world notable in music, arts, politics, literature, entertainment, business, you name it, music, here. So through the Arts and Lectures program, as well as the Music Academy of the West, like I said, it's such a long list. There's literally anything that you enjoy, you're going to find here in this small beach town, so to speak, as you would anywhere in the world. Like I said, the only thing we don't have is snow skiing and ice storms, you know, glaciers and things. But literally, there's something. I will correct that. We don't have a big nightlife, a big scene like you'll find, you know, in some of the big cities. It's a little bit quieter, but it's not uninteresting.
I think people that are moving there are looking for the relaxed, sort of quiet, private lifestyle that it has to offer. So,
to add to that,
I'm sorry. Go on.
I just wanted to add to that, and because of that, or along with that, you have a lot of very popular, let's say, celebrities, whether it's entertainment or business or some other kind of notoriety. People are comfortable here because you don't have the paparazzi and people clamoring for, you know, for attention and autographs and, you know, that kind of thing. So everybody's very comfortable and sort of relaxed. You have multi-billionaires walking around with flip-flops and shorts and t-shirts or whatever, being very relaxed, along with blending in with everybody else. So it's not a hey, look at me kind of a scene. So that's very comfortable for
Yes.
just about everybody.
So what are your clients looking for when they're looking for a residence, Randy? What is their what's their focus? What things about a home are they looking for?
Well, that's also
And
a
I'm
long
sure right
answer.
now with COVID, it's very different.
Well, so there's two answers. Pre-COVID and still with COVID, people are attracted not only for the culture and the climate and all of that, but there's just a wealth of architecture and design in this community. And so people come here for that like they would in a lot of communities, but then you have these incredible garden estates with low density, meaning typically large properties, and with this climate, every kind of plant and flowering plant and tree thrives. And so the gardens, going back 100 years, people, prominent Americans came here building winter homes or summer homes with incredible gardens. So the garden tours opportunities here are abundant. But so people come for ocean views, for gardens, for property and recreation. Most properties, have the standard pools and tennis courts and gardens and things like that. But there's also now switched to with COVID. So pre-COVID, people were downsizing. A lot of these people with the large estates were downsizing. People were traveling more, having multiple homes around the country and the world, or spending a lot of time in resorts. And since COVID, the pendulum has swung back to the large properties where the concept of home now is much more important to all of us. The safety and security of that safe haven, not only for us as individuals, but for groups, for family and friends. Everybody has this safe haven where they could still be together with family and friends, but feel that safety of home, or a place where they feel like they have a greater degree of control, and all of a sudden now with this COVID world, that's become much more valuable, and you'll see this in communities around the world where people are exiting or are sort of clamoring to get out of the highly densely populated cities and communities to communities with less density, less crowds, less affected by this pandemic, and also where they feel safe and they're in these beautiful surroundings, which we are so fortunate to have in the Santa Barbara Montecito area.
Yeah, the setting is so important there with the views and also the settings for the house and the gardens. And I agree with you. I think the gardens and the landscape is one of the primary draws, just being surrounded by this natural beauty. So,
well, the outdoor lifestyle that comes with that, you have this weather and you have this natural beauty, so people it draws people outdoors. So whether it's garden parties or dinners in the garden or just tea on the terrace, or golf, tennis, hiking, biking, surfing, all of that, you have that option in this setting.
So are people looking for houses with more bedrooms, with entertainment rooms, media rooms? Have you seen a shift at all in what they're looking for in the home?
Well, I think, as I said, when the trend was to downsize, lock and go type properties, more bedrooms wasn't necessarily one of the amenities that people wanted. A lot of people wanted smaller, easy to maintain, easy to lock and travel. Now, guest houses, outbuildings, family compounds, extra bedrooms, offices, media rooms, all of those amenities really matter, because in a stay-at-home, work from home, spend more time at home environment, all of those amenities that go along with larger properties, larger homes, guest facilities, really enhance the desirability in this environment.
Right. So if you have a prospective buyer, what is your advice for them? What types of things should they? They're putting their trust in you, and obviously you're guiding them to the property that you think is appropriate for them. What types of things should a prospective buyer be on the lookout for?
Well, right now, I think we've talked about the types of things that people are looking for, but right now, in present tense, I think the big focus now is act quickly, be decisive. There's so much competition for all these factors we talked about that have become so desirable to buyers in the marketplace, that the bidding wars and the multiple offers and the rapid sales pace is leaving a lot of the buyers behind.
Yeah, they're right.
And so I would say, be decisive, be aggressive, be willing to pay a premium. Otherwise,
that's what's going to take right now.
That's what it takes.
Right.
That's what it takes. And people, the aggressive buyers that are willing to pay a premium and be decisive and act quickly, are very happy with their success of acquiring a home that they're happy with. And the others that don't fit that description are being left behind and very disappointed, and many times either forced to settle for something that they don't really care for, that doesn't really fit their criteria list, or just looking for a hotel room.
Right. Yeah. So, Randy, you and I both lost our homes 3 years ago in the mudslides, unfortunately, and we lost some very dear friends in that event. So, yes, and since then, I remember afterwards, it took me a few weeks before I could come back, because the roads were all shut down and they weren't permitting anybody back. But when I did get back and I saw the extent of the disaster, I was just flabbergasted, and I thought it's going to be a decade or more before this community ever sees recovery or starts to rebuild itself. And really, it's been 3 years now, and it's remarkable the comeback this community has made. Do you agree?
Well, of course, it's blatantly obvious, and it's interesting. In almost 3 years, we're seeing this unprecedented pace of buying and premium pricing and sales volume and pricing. But really, Mark, it happened in a matter of hours. The devastation was indescribable. It was equivalent of maybe a bomb attack. The mud and the debris and the destruction, and visually and physically and financially and everything else. Like you, I just looked around and I thought, oh my God, life is over. Right. This is the end of the world, right? Not just that, but my business is non-existent. Right. And and within hours that very morning, I mean, the event happened in the early morning hours, 5, 6 a.m.
Hmm.
And by 8 a.m., there was heavy equipment and crews out cleaning, mopping up, searching and rescuing people that were stuck. And it was nonstop. To this day, right, as we're speaking, they're expanding debris basins and building new bridges and roadways, and most of that's already completed. But also what the real remarkable and touching thing that we witnessed is the community, not just work crews and government and utilities and city and county crews, but the private citizens, the community members rallying together to help each other. And there were events scheduled on Coast Village Road and up in the Upper Village to bring people together, to give people food and whatever they're need to, and also raise funding. And then private citizens organized what was called the 1805 event with hundreds of gift baskets from local businesses and community members. I think there were over 300 passed out to first responders, and then entertainment like Katy Perry and Kenny Loggins and several other prominent entertainers to draw people in and help raise funds. And that one day we raised, as a community, private funding over $2 million to contribute to the reconstruction and restoration of the community. And I had clients afraid to come, but apprehensive about coming to visit, and just startled at coming into the shops and restaurants. Everybody's happy and smiling and friendly, and the life just came back like opening floodgates. And as a package, I don't know, I was so all of us were just remarkably impressed by the strength and the spirit that all pulled this community back together.
It's a very supportive community, and everybody pitched in. It was
right. And then visitors from out of town were I think compelled by that, and that's part of the thing that I think contributes also to this flurry of sales. People want to be a part of that.
Right.
I'm going to give you a quick story.
Okay.
I have clients from Europe that had a home, a Montecito home, a vacation home here, second home, and they were trying to sell it, and they came out for a visit. They hadn't visited for a couple of years, but they were selling, and they came out for a visit, and they said, "Everybody's so happy here. We're going to take our home off the market. We come here and we feel like we're in a different world. It's this happy world." And even on the phone to our friends and family in Europe, they say your voice changes when you're in Montecito. You sound happier, and so and they felt it. So it's just
well, there's a very positive vibe and just a very positive energy there. It's a very, very unique and special place. So as I travel more and more around the world, I'm always looking forward to the time I can come back home, because there's just magic here. So
clients from the East Coast walking the streets.
It's amazing the amount of businesses that have come back also. There's a number of new restaurants in town, new businesses opening up. The Miramar Hotel opened up on the ocean.
Exactly.
And it's brought in a lot of tourists to the area and revitalize the community, financially.
Exactly. Several new restaurants, and the Miramar has just been a hit from day one.
Right.
Through it all. and so people that really weren't previously familiar with our community are just in awe, and that also contributes to the demand for homes, and everybody wants a part of that. So
Right.
it's interesting, Mark. So many times in the past, when I speak with my friends and people I meet from out of town, and they ask where are you from, and I tell them that, I've always wanted to buy a home. Someday I want to buy a home in Montecito or Santa Barbara, and so with COVID, now they're doing it.
Now they're doing it. Well, it's motivating them. So how do you see the Santa Barbara area market evolving in the future?
Um,
Do you have a crystal
I
ball?
really think that the current trend where people are paying higher prices, and the pace of sales is so much higher, I think will continue. I'm pretty sure that with this new world of, hey, I can work from home, I don't need to commute to the office or the shop or whatever. So many people are understanding that not only can they avoid the long hours, commuting hours in traffic, but they can work from home in comfort, and actually be as productive or more productive and work from home. I think that we're going to see a lot more or a sustained demand for these quality homes and quality locations where people sort of transition the focus from being away for work and play and travel to being safe and comfortable in their home, where they can be with family and friends and get their work done, whatever form it is.
So Santa Barbara and Montecito is known for its legendary properties, and I know everybody loves hearing about them. And you're very cautious about your clientele. You're very respectful of their sense of privacy, and I know you are cautious about that. Are there any legendary properties, without naming clients, that we can mention for people?
Several. I'm very careful to protect my clients' privacy. This really isn't about me. These properties are homes and private, and I really I guard their privacy with 100% confidentiality.
That's wonderful. I respect that very much.
And part of the reason that high-profile celebrity, famous people work with me is because they know that I'm not going to advertise that I sold, my property to Barack Obama or whoever.
Right.
My list. They're comfortable to know that that's not going to be part of my pitch to build my business.
Right.
And I guard the privacy of my clientele. And so I really won't mention names, but legendary properties. Let's say I can mention one that everybody, I think a lot of people familiar with this community are familiar with, the San Ysidro Ranch, which is one of the most incredible sort of resort properties in the country, if not the world.
Yes.
That is a property that I sold and represented the seller and the buyer about 20 years ago, and it's been massively.
It was severely damaged in the mudslides and closed, and it's open and functioning again, and better than ever. So I just had dinner there the other night.
Extraordinary. There's nobody that either stays there or has a wedding there or just has a dinner there, that doesn't come away just in awe of the quality of the setting and the experience. This is really, really wonderful.
So, Randy, I have been working with a friend of yours in Miami, Jill Hirschberg. And
Hertzberg, yes.
yes, so she's really quite wonderful, and I'm hoping to have Jill on this program sometime after first of the year and get her view in the Miami and Florida market. But you both are a member of a very exclusive group of realtors, the excuse me, International Alliance. Can you tell us a little about it?
International Luxury Alliance, yes.
Yes.
I've known Jill and her partner Jill Eber and their team for many, many years. They really are the most productive and successful group of residential real estate agents in the Miami South Beach marketplace. In addition to just being wonderful human beings.
Right.
Really, really a lot of fun and very professional. And so we are members of this group, the International Luxury Alliance, which is a group of approximately 50 agents from around the world, around the United States and Europe and Hawaii, and it's so much fun. We meet 2 or 3 times a year. We share ideas and information and referrals from clientele. The Jills in Miami have sold to my clientele, and they've referred clientele to me, and as well as Manhattan and Boston and all around New England and Aspen.
Have that level of professionalism and colleagues that you can turn to. I know I feel the same in my business. It's so great when I need something. Right. I have people to go to that are willing to help.
Well, the sharing of ideas and new ideas and innovative ways to better serve our clientele and to connect them anywhere in the world they want to be with the highest degree of professional representation.
Right. Right.
It really improves our ability to
serve your clients. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Randy, on the personal side, can we talk about your daughter and your son? I know that I know your daughter, and I know that she works with you. So, how is
my daughter Deanna?
Your daughter working with you?
It's hard to describe how wonderful that is. My daughter Deanna has been with me just over 10 years now, and to have your kids working with you in your business, just that alone is beyond description. But she's razor sharp. She loves the business. She's much better than I am. So to have someone as a business partner that also just helps us step up our game.
Well, she's had a great teacher.
Well,
yeah. And tell us about your son, because he has a career in architecture, and it's very exciting.
My son Nicholas is in New York. He's been in New York since he embarked on his career when he got his master's degree at UCLA. His first job in architecture was with the Rem Koolhaas office in New York. Rem Koolhaas, OMA is the name of their firm, and so he had 3 good years with Rem Koolhaas and decided he wanted to break out on his own, and so he's working now in New York. Well, anywhere he works. He has a couple of projects in Montecito right now that are really wonderful, and but he's based in New York, and he's working with a couple of my clients as well in other communities. But it's so much fun because he has opened my eyes to you know, we have this sort of tunnel vision in Santa Barbara because it's a, you know, it's 150 years of architecture and design here that's been so based in tradition and in classic European traditional architecture. And he's really opened my eyes to innovation and the world of architecture outside of that niche, you know, where you have you know, the Zaha Hadid's and Herzog and de Meuron
It's so great to have the young energy and
and
vision of the young
just
people. Yes.
reinventing design outside the box of tradition, where typically the Santa Barbara area architects, except for a very talented few, and recently have broken away from that, but it was always follow the established principles of design, right? Do what Palladio did, and copy George Washington Smith, and
Sure.
right, and Reginald Johnson and the classics, but which I'm a big admirer and fan of, these classic Mediterranean architects, which are so indigenous to this community. But the refreshing elements and addition of this modern, open, light, bright, airy design, it just really opened my eyes, and I have to credit my son for doing that. We've done some wonderful traveling around the world, just doing architectural tours, which, ignoring all the tourist spots, but just going to look at these incredible examples of architecture around the world. It's been so much fun.
Well, that's great. So I wish we had more time, Randy, because there's a bunch of things I'd love to ask you, but maybe you'll come back again and we can talk about a little bit more of the Santa Barbara market. So what is the best way for people to contact you?
By telephone, email. My telephone, I think, is on your banner. It's 805-565-2208. Please give me a call.
And you have your website?
My website is montecitoestates.com.
Mm-hmm.
And email is randy@montecitoestates.com. So don't hesitate.
All right. Well, I just noticed somebody just said hello from Canada, and they're just sending a greeting. So you might have a new client coming up from a Canadian. So,
well,
anyway,
we love the Canadians, and there are a lot of Canadians here in our community in Montecito and Santa Barbara and Hope Ranch. So they're all always welcome.
Well, thank you, Randy. I really enjoyed visiting with you, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, Mark, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be associated with you and on your show, your Instagram show. You've always been highly esteemed by myself and certainly my colleagues and friends in this community that are familiar with your work. So you keep up your good work and bring more of it to Santa Barbara and Montecito.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. All right. Have a wonderful holiday. Thanks, Randy.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
So thank you, everybody, for watching. And I want to thank you for this past year. We started this program, I think, sometime in March, and we've had a very interesting group of people on, ranging from the Newport Historical Society, Newport, Rhode Island, to the Doris Duke Estate in Honolulu, architects, designers, galleries, artists, even people in the fashion industry. So I hope you've enjoyed our chats. This coming year, we're going to have some very exciting guests that we're getting lined up, and I hope you'll continue to watch us. Because of the holidays now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be, let's see, what is the date? We'll be I think it's January 8th will be our next Designers at Home. And my next guest is going to be Kimberly Davis, who's the director of the LA Louvre Art Gallery in Venice, California. And she's going to talk to us about the gallery, current exhibitions, and she's also going to show us some examples of what their current exhibition has on display. So I want to thank you again for joining us. Please share these talks with your friends, and remember that they are all available. If you're not able to see us live, you can go on the YouTube channel. There's a podcast and Instagram. It's all under Mark Weaver and Associates. So from the wonderful world of design, I'm Mark Weaver, and thank you for joining us.